We just kind of tried to bring down the top overhead. We're a small state. We have we've got quite a bit of resources going into administration, but that money doesn't leave the system. So I want your listeners to really hear that. We're not pulling that out and using it someplace else. I'm reducing the overhead and simplifying the system and putting those dollars back in the system, and hopefully in the classrooms and into the school districts and into an additional speech pathologist that they can maybe share with another school district in rural Iowa, but get them in the classrooms more often. So a lot of flexibility built into this model based on oversight, districts in control of the money, and an AEA system that stays intact. We are not trying to eliminate it. We need the system. And so the money will stay in it and be dispersed locally, rather than some of those admin costs staying at the top.
Big picture, if this all goes through as you see it, are we spending the same amount of money as the state? Is this a cost saving in some way when you figure in administrative and such?
Nope, that's what I'm saying. It all goes in. No, the money doesn't come out of the system. I mean, that was the first kind of scare tactic. They were trying to say, oh, she's trying to fund other things, or she's funding teacher salaries with the AEA administrative cuts. No, that money stays in the system. So that remains.
Just spent differently.
It's just allocated differently. We'll be more efficient. We can, share with other school districts. We can bring in a accredited private sector provider if they want. But if they've got an AEA that's doing a great job, then they can just pass that money right on through, but they will be responsible for really deciding if they're meeting their needs. The school districts are the customers. So let's treat them like the customers. Let's not mandate that $529 million, that'll stay the same, flows through to an AEA that we really have when we're not sure what these services cost. Now we will know what they cost because, they'll have to be, not just competitive, but they'll be trying to decide if they're going to utilize their services or not, and they'll be writing them a check for their services. So we'll have a better idea, too, on how these funds, the allocation of these funds, how that goes into the results that we're getting. And then the DE will set up some metrics and accountability to help. It's not punitive. It is to really help these teachers and these schools provide the support that they need.
Let's talk about